So, hi, I am very happy, Reese, to have you here with us. Join this FQ video. But before we go there, if we could just tell us something about yourself so that our audience will know more about you.
Sure. So, hello, Tita Rose. Thanks so much for having me. My name is Reese Fernandez-Ruiz. I'm president and co-founder of Rags to Riches. It's an enterprise. It's a fashion and design house empowering community artisans from the Philippines. So, we started about 13 years ago, and we started because we wanted to provide livelihood to artisans. And since then, we've partnered with designers. We built our own design team. And so now we create bags, clothes, and home accessories made out of recycled materials and indigenous fabrics.
Yes, and now you are married to the crush of your life, right?
Yes, the crush of my life.
Tell us about your family.
I am a mother of two, wife of one. So, mother of two boys. They're very young. So, one is 4 years old, he's turning 5 years old, and the other one is one turning 2 years old.
I'd like to, for you to share any thoughts about money from Reese.
Yeah, so, I think growing up, it was not easy to talk about money because we didn't have a lot. And so it was a topic that was embarrassing, that felt really awkward. It felt that if you're gonna talk about money, you don't show respect, or you're not respectful, or it's not dignified to talk about money. Even if growing up, I had to do a lot of the budgeting because we didn't have much. So
are you the panganay?
I am, yeah.
Oh, out of how many kids?
There's two of us, so my brother and I and my mom. So she raised us on her own, with the help of our family also, but mostly like physically on her own. So it was tough growing up because we had to budget whatever little we had, and talagang I would help her like go through the budget. But it's not a very fun topic. And even in school, when we go to school, it's also, of course, when you're in school, you tend to compare your allowance, your baon with other kids. It was an embarrassing topic for me growing up. So yeah, that's how I thought about money when I was growing up. But then eventually, especially now, I've realized that even if you don't talk about it, it's a reality of life. It's there. There's no shame in talking about money, talking about wanting to make more or making it efficient for you or making it work for you. And if you don't know anything about it, it's more dangerous for you. What you don't know can hurt you.
Exactly. So it's not true when it comes to money. Hindi yung what you don't know won't hurt, no? It's the opposite. What you don't know may hurt you. And right now, because your employees belong to, tama ba? Most of your employees belong to the what we call the laylayan. Ng
Many of them,
lipunan.
yes.
Yeah, and I love what you're doing. You're also teaching them this already?
Yes. In some parts, teaching, but at the same time, providing a system. Because if you don't have the system, if you just have the knowledge, it's very hard to apply what you know. So, yes, I love the approval. I feel so validated.
Because that's what we're saying all the time. Knowledge is not enough. You gotta bridge that gap between the knowledge and behavior. Kaya panayang ganun ko.
I love it. Yes, exactly. That's what I realized also. Parang okay, they know what savings mean. They know parang they know conceptually how it works. But if they don't have the system to be able to save, it's useless. If you're just gonna put it under your bed, isang baha ka lang, wala ka na. Okay. So, like a few years ago, we devised a program called Quality of Life Program. And it's the favorite of our artisans right now. So, what we do is we opened bank accounts for artisans also. So, they all have bank accounts, their own passbooks with their own names on them. So, for many of them, it's the first property that they ever had their names on. So it's very precious. And then their labor costs, their artisan fees, and their professional fees, we divided. So 20% goes to that bank account, and then 80% goes to an ATM bank account so that they could easily like withdraw for their daily needs. So we've realized that, but it's still their bank account. So it's just like we just divided it, like literally divided it. Pero bank account nila pareho. So they're very happy about it because they see that, okay, my savings, it's growing and it's not easy for me to withdraw it. But when I need it, like for calamities, accidents, health scares, or education, it's there and they could get it. And it's always just growing and accumulating with interest. So they're very happy. So that was the first step of our quality of life program. And that has helped a lot of our artisans send their kids to school, take care of their homes, take care of calamities. Kasi we're kind of in a calamity zone in the world, you know, typhoons, floods, oh my gosh, yeah. So yeah, they're able to take care of that. And then our next step was to introduce investments, but just little investments. Like we ask our financial advisors to like, okay, just talk to them about how investments work. And then we invited other people to give them talks about investments and made it their decision. Like ask them, okay, do you want to invest in this? This is how risk works. This is, but in very simple terms, because even for us who are, you know, who went to school or are educated, it's also not that easy to understand. So you have to really intentionally understand it and study it and not be afraid of it. Because many people are. They'd rather just ignore all of these things that they don't understand rather than benefit from them. Yeah, we've tried, and so far, the results are great. So the artisans are able to really save for the future. Because honestly, without savings, progress is hard to think about. Like, how could you think about sending your kids to school in the future or having a house in the future if you can't even save right now or if you don't have the mechanism to do so? We're very proud of that program, and we established that a few years ago with so much pain, to be honest, because at first the artisans were like, don't you trust us with our money? Why do you have to put 20% in our own bank account in a passbook? Why can't it all be ATM so that we could withdraw it? And it wasn't about the trust necessarily, because I don't even trust myself. If I don't put a system for me to be able to do it properly, even if I don't feel like it. Because part of me is still a child who would want something right away. But then my logical self in the future will be like, oh, why did you do that?
Loving this. Your rational and emotional side in conflict all the time. Yes,
Exactly.
Ay, galing. So, when it comes to your family, how is this now being applied? Knowing that there are limiting money myths.
Me and my husband were very in sync when it comes to money and finances. We talk about it. We're not afraid to talk about it, the realities of it. So I think that's very important. It wasn't an easy journey to get to a kind of openness like this, because of course we grew up in different environments and we grew up with our own money myths. But eventually, we realized, you know, we have to do like, this is a family thing. It's like planning for a company. Like, I know that you also do that. I was very inspired when you shared that. It's managing a household. It's managing a family. So you have your resources, you have your expenses, you have your inflow, you have everything that you also have in a company. And it's also very important. It's actually the most important company in your life because it's your family. I also have my own money. He has his own money. And then we have shared money. There's still some things that we could do on our own, and then, you know, we contribute together for the family. So it's been quite healthy. For the kids, the littlest one, the smallest one, wala pa. He's still, he's still trying to pronounce his own name properly. But for my but for my 5-year-old, unti-unti, we're already teaching him what it's like to save. Some through games, because it's the most effective for him. Like, there's this game where he collects tickets, and then with the tickets he can buy stuff. But like, we guided him that, okay, only buy things that you really like, and only when you reach a certain amount. Like, okay, let's try to reach 50 tickets before you buy anything, and don't let your tickets go below 25. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he gets it. So he's very careful. So even like when he's shopping for things using his tickets, he's always like, oh, it's too expensive. He's gonna go somewhere else. So it's been fun teaching him, and I think, yeah, we'll just continue on this journey to teach him the healthy way of looking at money and handling money.
So, Reese, are there any myths that you see really being practiced by a lot of our millennials right now? You're a millennial.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm an older millennial, but I am like right smack there in the cutoff. So I'm gonna claim it. In my generation, I think because we're in the cusp, like my batch, we're in the cusp. So we are, we're still quite conservative, I feel, but you could still see it, especially during the early days of working, that it was all about you only live once. So, okay, just spend it here, invest in travel, invest in things that aren't really investments, but you call them investments because wala lang, para good branding. So you feel a bit better about your purchase. Yeah, about your splurge. You're like, oh, I'm investing in myself. But there is a difference. I mean, sure, I think it's good to take care of yourself. It's good to feel good and feel rewarded for your hard work. But call it what it is. It's it's a reward. Because if you keep on calling it investment, you will feel that it's gonna grow money in the future, but it's not. So there are.
So it's a myth talaga.
Oo, sobrang myth talaga siya.
Sige, I'll bring it back to what you said, that the myth is YOLO. That's a big myth. Call it as it is. And here at FQ Mom, we also say, yes, you only live once, YOLO, but you should also remember YAGO. You also grow old.
Oh my gosh, that's true. Yes.
So, any parting message to our viewers?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that I always remind people of is to face reality and to face the numbers. Because again, what you don't know can hurt you. Like, you think that just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not cracking from the inside. So don't be afraid to be transparent to yourself, because nobody else will be if you're not. So you have to be honest with yourself first and foremost. Evaluate where you are so that you know where you're going. I encounter this a lot kasi, Tita Rose. Like, people are always saying, no, I don't want to know, because if I know, then parang it becomes real. Oh, but even if you don't know it's real pa rin kasi. Yeah, whether you acknowledge it or not, it's there. Whether you know it or not, it's there. So it's either gonna kill you first or you're gonna solve it. So the choice is to solve it even if it's painful. So ganun din, di ba? In money, in relationships,
everything.
What you don't know can hurt you.
Yes, I like that. Oh, thank you.